Inside an Oakland federal courthouse, a jury is preparing to hear a case that threatens to dismantle the architecture of the modern artificial intelligence industry. Elon Musk is taking OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, to court. At stake is a staggering $150 billion in damages. This chart tracks OpenAI's corporate valuation. It shows a steep climb from a $0 research lab into a commercial entity approaching a $1 trillion valuation, backed by tens of billions in Microsoft funding. Musk is arguing that this massive accumulation of wealth is illegal. He claims OpenAI's transition into a commercial powerhouse directly violates the strict charitable charter it used to secure its earliest donations. A victory for Musk could force OpenAI back into its original nonprofit structure, stripping its access to commercial capital and effectively stalling the development of its most advanced models. The dispute traces back to 2015. Musk contributed roughly $44 million to help launch OpenAI as an open-source, nonprofit lab. The goal was to develop artificial general intelligence, software capable of matching human reasoning, specifically to ensure the technology remained free from private corporate control. Now, Musk's legal team describes that initial arrangement as a long con. They argue Sam Altman deliberately utilized Musk's financial support and public endorsement to build a foundation for what would eventually become a private for-profit empire. Musk's first claim is breach of charitable trust. Early charitable donations intended for public good research were allegedly siphoned into a commercial subsidiary. The second is unjust enrichment. Altman and Microsoft generated billions in returns that Musk argues belonged to the nonprofit. To win, Musk has to convince the jury that OpenAI's executives intentionally used a charity as an incubator to build a trillion-dollar cash cow. OpenAI's defense team rejects that narrative. They argue that training frontier AI models requires massive data centers and specialized processors. They maintain that raising the billions necessary for that computing power was impossible on a standard nonprofit budget. They also point to a critical power struggle in 2018. According to corporate records, Musk proposed merging OpenAI into Tesla and installing himself as CEO. When Altman and co-founder Greg Brockman refused, Musk walked away and cut off his funding. The defense argues this entire legal maneuver comes down to regret. Now that Musk runs his own competing artificial intelligence startup, xAI, they claim he is attempting to use the legal system to slow down a superior rival. OpenAI is framing the lawsuit as a strategy of competitive sabotage designed to derail their market momentum, just as Musk's own startup is trailing behind. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez-Rogers has placed strict parameters on the proceedings. Because of the intense public interest, she has accelerated the schedule, granting each side exactly 22 hours to present their entire case. Those hours will be filled by some of the most prominent figures in the tech industry. Alongside Altman and Musk, the witness list includes OpenAI President Greg Brockman and Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella. The discovery process has already produced a mountain of evidence: private text messages, internal corporate emails, and personal diary entries, stripping away the corporate polish and exposing the raw animosity between the two camps. While the attorneys will argue about corporate charters and fiduciary duties, the jurors will actually be judging the personal credibility and the hidden motives of two fiercely proud executives. If the jury sides with Altman, OpenAI's recent restructuring into a commercial public benefit corporation, a structure that balances profit with public good, gains full legal validation. That clears the runway for the company's planned IPO. But if Musk prevails, the damage to OpenAI could be absolute. The court could force Altman out, mandate a total unwinding of the for-profit subsidiary, and halt the company's commercial operations entirely. A sudden freeze on OpenAI's product development would instantly shift the balance of power in the tech sector, handing a massive market advantage straight to Musk's xAI and Google. Beyond market share, the verdict addresses a legal gray area known as mission drift, when a nonprofit changes its goals over time. The court will decide if a company can legally use a tax-exempt charitable foundation to bootstrap a technology that later generates massive private wealth. $150 billion is on the table, but the final ruling will determine the legal blueprint for how the next generation of artificial intelligence is funded, governed, and ultimately controlled.